Rolling camera?
Yes.
All right. This is the making of Roll A, Scene 1, Take 1.
All right, thanks guys for that great introduction. And hopefully we're gonna give you guys a little bit of insight on what we go through in most typical productions that we do here at the Container Store. It all starts with pre-production. This is potentially one of the longest parts of our whole production phase. We want to spend as much time as we can in this phase to work out any kinks and details about the production day as well as post-production, so that we can go right into those smoothly and not have to spend a lot of time, especially on production day. This is a lot about saving time there. So the first thing in any video that we need to identify and keep in mind is the goal or the purpose. And everything revolves around that. It's like, do we want to drive customers to the store, or we're trying to inform our employees about something, or whatever it is. That is the first and foremost thing that we need to do. And then everything we do for the video should support that one goal and purpose. Then we typically want to have some sort of brainstorm. Early on in this phase, this is more pie in the sky, kind of throwing out everything and anything idea-wise that would support the goal and purpose of the video. Then more than likely we have one more meeting at least, where we come back together after booking talent and talking to the store if we need to, or looking at calendars with Amy to schedule time in the studio, all that stuff, figuring out what kind of gear we want to rent if we need to. So we go through all the details of production day and make sure we've got everything in place and in line, ready to go, so that when we show up, say at a store at 6 a.m. and there's somebody there waiting for us, we're not trying to figure anything out on set that day.
So now that pre-production has happened, that leads us to production day. And specifically, I'm going to talk about whenever we're shooting at a store. So if we're shooting at a store, usually that means that we have to get here really early in the morning, because we have to gather up all of our gear, we have to load up the van, and then we have to make the trek over to whatever store it's going to be, whether it's Stonebriar, North Park, Galleria, wherever it could be. And then we have to unload all the gear and start setting it up. We have to make sure that power cables are run. We have to make sure if we're going to use lighting, that we have lighting all set up. We have to check all of our settings in our camera, make sure it's good and ready to go, that we have a fresh card in there. And then once everybody else that is part of the production arrives, we can begin shooting. And other people that we may have could be Donna from a direction standpoint. It could be a visual person that's going along with us to make sure that all of the visual elements of the store are exactly the way that they need to be for the scene. It could be someone specific to that role that we're shooting, just to give us the expertise to make sure that we're not doing anything incorrectly. Now, throughout the shooting, we try to make sure that we have somebody covering each of the key roles, and that usually is running the camera, another person that's running, taking care of slating and logging all the shots, and then we have someone who's capturing the audio. And that's 3 different pieces, and it's really best if you have one dedicated person for each of those roles, because it becomes a bit of a handful if you're having to do 2 roles or split, maybe even 3 roles sometimes, and go back and forth. You start running around and it makes it easier to have errors, continuity problems. And then once we wrap all that up and the shooting is done, then we have to pack up all the gear again. We have to load it back in the van and trek it all the way back over here to the distribution center and take it out and load it all back.
Now that we've planned it and we've shot it, now we're on to the 3rd phase of our productions, which is post-production. So the first part of this, because of the equipment we use, we record our audio separately from our video. Depending on the equipment we use, we can record the audio at the same time, but in most cases we're recording it separately. So the most important thing in post-production for this phase is we have to sync the audio with the video. The idea here is that we have created an audio and visual cue with the clapper to give us a sync point. So in looking down here, you can see this big peak here. That is what I'm guessing is the clap. So we'll run over here and we'll see that, yes, that is where the clapper comes together in our audio. With that there, I'm going to bring in just the audio clip up to the source monitor so that I can zoom in on that, and I'm going to place a marker at the peak and try and find the same peak in the separate audio. So we're going to come over here. So there's silence before, This clap is right there. So I'm going to place a marker, try to find the same peak in separate audio, and I'm going to zoom in now so I can see it better and find the same peak. It's right there. And place a marker. So as you can see, placing the marker shows a marker down here in the audio of the video clip. Now I'm going to drag my separate audio down here, and you'll see it too has the marker that I created, marking the location of the peak in the audio. So now I just move this over and it'll snap to, and now my audio should be in sync.
So another thing that we do on production day is we shoot with a picture profile on our camera that's very neutral, very muted. The contrast levels are really low. And the reason that we do that is so that when we get back in post-production, we have all the latitude and the range to adjust the lights, the darks, and each of the individual colors of the RGB spectrum in post-production. And the reason that we want that is because if you shoot something and the blacks are crushed, or if the highlights are blown, you can't really recover that. Whereas if you shoot it in a neutral setting, then in post you can adjust those and put those exactly where you want them so you get the perfect image. All right, so this is going to be, I'm going to show you a little bit about color correction. We're going to color correct this clip where she's raking the screw across the soap. So this is the color correction interface with my RGB scopes and my luminance scope. And we're going to go ahead and see if we can get this looking a little bit better. So we're going to add our RGB curves layer right here for the effects. And we're going to go ahead and start by trying to adjust the contrast of the image. Get it a little bit better looking. Okay. So we are going to bring down our reds, because I can tell there's a lot of red in the image. There we go. Kind of adjust our blues a little bit. Bring up my blue hair more. And already this looks much more natural, I think. I'm going to adjust the contrast. Her hands look more normal. And her shirt's kind of more of a bluish color like it should be. And the wall you can see behind it was a blue-gray, and it looks like it's a blue-gray. So there you go. And here was our beginning and our end.
Okay, so now you've seen just two of the most common steps we do in post-production, which is the matching of the audio and color correction, but there are many other steps involved. Potentially, the post-production process is the most lengthy, and that's just getting it to a certain point. Then we have review processes, and then we have obviously a routing process, all adding time to that post-production process. But once that's done, we have our final output, and it could be going to mostly online now, but it could be going out to DVD. We have a myriad of formats that we can output to with the system we have. So
a lot of times now, if we're having something that's going to be customer facing on our website, we've been electing to hire talent outside. And one such person we've been using a lot lately is a woman named Cassie Watson, and she's been really working out for us. We get along great. She's great on production day. She knows how to take direction, and she's really enjoyable to work with. And so we asked her if she would say a few words, and here she is.
Working with Kevin and Chris has been one of the best experiences of my life. Their creative insight and their creativity goes leagues above most of the people I've ever been with. Just saying. Working with Kevin and Chris has been like, if I were to imagine what working with Spielberg would be like, I would say working with Kevin and Chris is pretty close to that. Well, if not right up there with it, you know. I don't know, they are amazing. They do everything. They shoot, they direct, they edit afterwards, they do the sound, amazing sound.
Sorry.
They're so professional. It's always like I'm working on a Hollywood set.
Chris, you're in the shot.
Uh-oh, sorry.
Dude. I think this shirt's kind of big on me. I don't
Big?
know what to...
All right, I got something for that. All right, hold on, right here. This is how they do it in Hollywood. Right there?
I've never...
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Okay.
No even wrinkles. Looks right.
Their directing style is always insightful and clear. I know what they want from me while we're shooting. So which
Okay,
one?
screw that one. No, the one to the right. No, my right. No, your right. No. Well, yeah, do that one.
This one?
No. Here, let me just like this.
Okay, that's all you had to say.
Jeez, can't you take direction?
Sorry.
Action!
They do whatever it takes to make me comfortable while shooting.
Yeah, so that first screw right there, you're just gonna go ahead and you're gonna hand tighten that. Hey, can you bring the light in a little bit, Kevin?
Oh, it's really hot, guys.
Hey, what? No, don't worry about it. We need to light you up. You need to look good.
I think it's burning my hair.
Well, if it starts to smoke, we'll pull it away. Go ahead and let's go ahead and get this shot. Go ahead and put it up there. There you go. Come on, it's all right.
They always treat me with the utmost respect and kindness.
And cut.
All right, hey,
Awesome.
that should be the last shot. So let's go ahead and go.
Yeah, it is.
Can I go? I'm ready to go then?
Well, not just yet. I think we have you for another 30 minutes. So if you could, clean up the mess that you made there, and we're gonna go to lunch, and then we'll be back.
Seriously?
Yeah, if you just take care of that, then that'd be great.
Okay.
Oh, Mike, grab that light.
Guys. Hey guys, I need light to sweep. Guys. I'm sorry. I'm working with Kevin and Chris. I'm sorry. I need a second. It's changed my life.
All right, so look, this is just a down payment, all right? But
All right.
I'll get you more here a little bit later.
You want me to answer the questions like you asked me to?
Yeah, I mean, make us look good. I mean, tell us like we're the best thing
Yeah.
since sliced bread.
Let me turn this way a little bit.
Yeah. And I like the jacket.
good.
Yeah. All right.
That
Cool.
looks good.
All right.
Awesome. All right.
Does that look good?
Yeah. You look fine. Just make us look good.
All right, so what do you guys want me to say?
Well, we wrote a few things right here.
What? I don't get a cue card?
Well, just read off that.
Okay. Do I have to mention that weird guy with the shifty eyes? Because that's going to be like another 20. Okay. And Mike, he is wonderful.
You can say, now get all your blah, 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 now get to post-production. And the reason we do that is blah, 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 and that can lead you into that. Another thing that we do on production day is shoot blah, 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 and the reason we do that is so in post, blah, blah, blah,
Blah, blah, blah, and we show me doing that, and then it comes back to you.
that last part sound corny? The whole lot of fun?
No, that was fine.
That's fine? Okay.
So what are we talking about now?